NBA 2K26 is close, and could it be the dream game we've all been waiting for? That's a conversation that we're about to have. Get into what makes a 2K dream game. This is going to be a series of videos where I break down different things that I do love and that I think are important for the game. A lot of this stuff will be stuff that's different game modes, different features, and things like that. But a big portion is going to be about the gameplay because that's what I care about most, and that's what I want to focus on. For everybody watching, if you want to show love, this is entertaining for you, make sure you leave a comment and like. Also, we're selecting commenters to get some VC. Make sure you leave a comment and then you have a chance to win. I'll just pick random people. That in mind, let's get into the discussion. Here's the thing. I'm going to make it very clear to start off this video. First of all, everybody has personal preference and things that they love. So every video in the series, the topics will be different. So I'll talk about the story and campaign within MyCareer. I'll talk about the my team elements, or even my NBA. We'll have a bunch of different things. Today we're talking about gameplay, and I'm going to focus mostly on dribbling. The reason I want to focus on dribbling is because every character has to dribble a little bit, except for the centers, who usually don't dribble too much. Okay, and so dribbling is essential, and it's the way you drive. All right, so what I want you to think about as I talk about this is when you pick up a racing game and you play it for the first time, you understand that you have to steer and you have to hit the gas. And if a good game is made right, you can basically learn it very quickly and it feels smooth. And dribbling has improved drastically. It's gotten better over the years in a lot of different ways, a lot of different animations, and just really good stuff. So shout out to Mike Wayne for caring about dribbling. But at the same time, there's a flaw that I see where I felt like he's lost sight. He's trying to limit players from doing glitchy, crazy things, but at the same time, he stopped players from feeling a smooth ride. Remember I said vehicle, right? So we want to be able to pick up the game and launch left, launch right, and do all these different things in every way and be able to play properly within that flow of the game. As somebody who dribbled in real life as a point guard and won championships, dribbling is the most essential. I was one of the best ball protectors, and I was also, a dribble god, as they say, in real life. But when I played in these tournaments, I was being efficient and I wasn't showing off because I wanted to win. But the point is, you can do both in 2K, but at a cost. And I believe that if Ronnie can do it so that if people who are being efficient, protecting the ball, and have smooth launches, it's okay. If somebody's spamming a bunch of moves to try and do something, then make it more risky, sure, right? And that's where that adrenaline and stamina and all those things come into play a bit, but maybe he can do a little more tweaks in that and then unlock everybody. So meaning if I come down the court, I'm able to go from a size up to a launch fast. I don't need anything broken. I want a fair game. And if you watch my previous videos, I talk about having competitive integrity. So I'm not here to say break the game with bad dribbles where everybody's speed boosting and it's unguardable. That's not what I'm saying. But if I'm able to speed boost one way or another, I should be able to do that with any dribble I do, regardless if I'm standing still or anything like that. And so having this system where, in my opinion, if I'm, sizing someone up and I can launch left or right and they can't predict the speed that I'm going to go in because I can go launch both sides without a problem, and then the same thing happens when I'm doing other moves, then all of a sudden I have freedom as a dribbler. Now the defender has to be able to be quick enough and stick with them. So giving them good agility or perimeter defense badges and things that can help is always going to be key. Don't get it twisted. I'm going to make a video about defense too, but I wanted to talk about launching. And so one of the biggest problems, like I said, is you turn on the game. Even if you're a great dribbler, you come in and Mike Wayne changes things. Then all of a sudden you go, oh, you can only speed boost on 6'4s and under if you go the same side speed boost. Oh, well, you can only speed boost with 6'5 and taller if you do a cross launch. And all of those little things that are limiting players are causing the game not to feel as fluid, which takes away from the fun and from the good feeling of dribbling. And while, like I said, there's a lot of dope mechanics in the dribbling, a lot of dribblers won't appreciate that. It's like having the most fanciest car and then telling me that every time you go 20 miles or higher, you have to get a hiccup and you gotta stop and restart the car, go through this process. And it's like, what? No, just let me drive. And so I do believe, Mike Wayne would need some of these people to give them feedback. I've had a lot of discussions with a lot of community members, and they'll talk about older games, right? And I say, don't talk about an older game because you're going to ruin the future thinking about the past. What I say is, look, use the past as an example of something you can do for the future and let Mike Wayne make something fresh. And so if they can implement that and unlock it, because it's already in the game, right? Like we're able to speed boost from the same side. We're able to speed boost from the cross launches, but it's specific moves. And then there's other ones that aren't as good unless you activate a second thing, like doing an extra hezi. After a move, you do a hezi and then you go, like triggering all this silly stuff instead of making it a fluid experience. And so that's kind of where it's a complicated, we'll go down like a deep rabbit hole. I'm sure my comments is probably going to be filled with dribblers saying, just bring back 2K16, man. But in the end of the day, 2K16 wasn't perfect. And they had flaws as well, even in their dribbling that could have gotten better. The launches in 2K16 felt good because you could size up and then launch out of it in a faster way and more fluid. And it doesn't feel as clunky as this year, of course. So can that be something implemented as far as the launches? Yes, they just need to unlock all those moves and just say, you know what, we're going to tweak every single move and give it the chance to have a speed boost, meaning it can reach the top speed. Okay. So if a lot of my moves reach the top speed and my defender is able to stay in front of me, regardless of what top speed I'm switching to, then that just makes the game even. Now, all of a sudden, it's about whoever has the most skill, not whoever's, yo, man, you got to do the double left, right. And then you got the hezi, you're going to be able to do the speed boost out of it. It's like, nah, let's not do that. So I think that's something that I don't think is explained carefully to people. And Mike Wayne might be hearing a lot of feedback about, just let us launch fast, but he's not understanding this. Like, look, if every move was capable of launching out of it and the defender was able to stay in front of us, that's fine. I'm going to find a way around the defender if you give me those options and not make it so I have to go through a hurdle of like, oh, for my 6'4", I have to do this specific thing, and my 6'5" and higher, I got to do cross launches to get through. So those are just some thoughts, and those are the main things that I'm looking at with dribbling specifically, right? And another big one, and this is kind of like where my fantasy world kicks in, and I'm gonna kind of demonstrate it a little bit. So you see in recent years, aka this year, and they're starting to do things like I can do, the hop and cancel out of it, and you can cancel out of almost anything, right? This year. So I could and you've seen it, that's been a great thing. And this is very real. This is something that you see Michael Beasley in recent time. He'll do a half spin, but instead of trying to grab the ball, he's pump faking, and then he does a step back to do that. And it's a legitimate basketball play, literally a real ball play. And, putting that into 2K so that, I can easily just get a little step back and then show off my skills. Those are things that 2K needs to do. because then it just makes the game even more creative. It's not that you're breaking the game or anything. It's basketball. As long as I'm not actually doing the travel, I don't gather the ball and take my travel steps, it's necessary. This is my opinion, but those are the type of things that you want. So having that, to me, is also a very useful tool. So we'll see if they can implement that, but that is an important factor, I think, for dribbling, in my opinion. So that is key. All right. And now I just want to kind of like stress again, this is strictly for my dribbling heads and the conversation about what's your dream NBA 2K with dribbling. Those are the two biggest things that I think can help unlock the game. So like I could take 2K25, right, and unlock each move to have the same top speed at launch, right? When I do the cross launch, like you're watching in the footage, or when I do the hezzy, or when I do a step back, I can launch out of those things with the same top speed. That's all that needs to be. I know it sounds crazy to probably some of y'all like, what do you mean? That's not the best dribbles. It's not great. That's going to unlock the game in a new way. And then having defenders being able to stay in front of them so nobody can complain about that. Okay. And so that are big time. But anyways, hope that was informative and just kind of like sharing one of the many different things that I would like to see in 2K. We have a big series. I'm literally got a list for what I think should be implemented. And the next topic we're going to talk about is shooting. It should be popping up on screen. This is a big one, by the way. So make sure you check that out. Leave a like and comment if this was informative. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Stay blessed, man. Peace.